Governor Cuomo has officially resigned. I am very grateful and also really annoyed because it turns out because he's resigning, he no longer has to face a lot of the allegations against him. In Albany, they were investigating some stuff into him. That wasn't the Department of Justice. Everyone's like, oh, the Department of Justice already dropped that case. Well, that was one of the cases against him. In New York, Albany was investigating, and they are now going to drop the case on him, which because he's no longer going to be governor, which frustrates me to no end because it almost feels like this resignation is exactly what he wanted to do. Like it's actually a win for him. Even though I'm glad he's going to be gone, I have no idea who's going to be taking his place. I'm sure they already have someone lined up, but it's just, it feels so lackluster. Like we're not getting justice for the thousands of people that he killed with his March 25th order in 2020, where he basically forced people to take in COVID positive patients into nursing homes and end up, causing all these old people to die and then lying about the numbers, trying to cover up the numbers. It's just a big, huge debacle that he's not going to face. Let's face it, he's not. He's not going to see any sort of jail time. He's not going to see any sort of reprimand for doing what he did. Because, he's basically the Democrats' golden boy, right? They're doing damage control right now, and I don't think it's enough. Andrew Cuomo resigns as governor of New York amid sexual misconduct scandal. See, this would piss me off. He killed people. By his own order, people died. Okay, that's not a conspiracy. That happened, right? He had an order that issued people to not turn away COVID positive patients into nursing homes where they should never have been in the first place. Trump sent I forget the name of the hospital ship to New York. They didn't use it at all. It was empty. Now people are like, yeah, well, that wasn't for the COVID people. That was for the other emergency stuff. Okay, they still didn't use it. They still could have. They still had all. They built another hospital, I think in Brooklyn somewhere, and they didn't use that either. All they did was fluff the numbers. Okay, and this guy is now stepping down amid sexual misconduct allegations. Now, I actually did a segment on this, and there was a lot of allegations. Some people are like, well, do we believe all women? Not all of them could have been credible. I know someone personally that a girl lied about him, and he went to jail for it. All right, and then 2 years later, she was like, I feel really guilty, and she confessed to of lying about him raping her. She was just pissed that he broke up with her. And he went to jail for 2 years. So I get it. You got to take everything and look into it and make sure it's credible. But when you have girl after girl after girl after girl after girl coming up and saying, yeah, he did this, and then him going, yeah, I did it, but I'm Italian. That's my, the way I am, Okay, but then you look into it a little closely. It's like, okay, bro, you're clearly, you got issues, man. You got issues. What just happened? Cuomo said that while it is his instinct to fight against accusations against him, that he did not want to waste government resources, and that his love of New York directed his decision to step down. Sure, I'm sure that's what it is. Cuomo said that the best way he could help was to step aside and let government get back to governing. Cuomo will step down officially in 2 weeks after a short transitional period, just 14 days to slow the Cuomo. My goodness. During the conference, Cuomo said that the headlines that New Yorkers and Americans saw claiming that he had sexually assaulted women had no factual and credible basis, stating that his lawyers has already raised serious issues and flaws that should concern all New Yorkers. You know what really pisses me off about his so-called statement that, during his press conference? He brought up his own daughters. Okay, he started talking about his daughters and saying how they would have, they have to look at him and see that he's, has all these allegations against him, not to mention that he's a murderer with blood on his hands. And he said, I really love them. They're so talented, more talented than I ever could have dreamed of being myself. But society is still sexist, and it's run by men, and men are still the blah 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 blah, talking about how society is a like still run by men, and it's for men, and all this basically BS, admitting that he's blaming society for his own individual actions, right? He's not even taking claim for what he's done. He blames society in this like weird twist, bringing up his daughters and saying that they have to live in this world, that we have lots of progress to do. And it's like, dude, you are the problem, Cuomo. How dare you lecture me or anyone on the television acting so high and mighty when you are the one who's acting like the dude that can do whatever he wants. Cuomo sexuals, you hear about that? So if you don't know what this is, hashtag Cuomosexual was a thing for a long time with all these people that really loved Cuomo, that were falling in love with Cuomo. In fact, oh my gosh, I have to show you guys. I don't even know if I can show this, but I don't care. You have to see this. It's from The Daily Show, Trevor Noah. Oh my gosh. Listen.
Is Andrew Cuomo. Yes. Thanks to his handling, his approval rating has soared to a 7-year high.
Thanks to his handling,
something of a
hold on, wait. Thanks to his handling, his approval rating went to a 7-year high. He's becoming something of a crush for many people.
Yeah.
And people online are falling in love with him. I'm not gonna lie, those people include me. Oof. My Tinder profile now lists me as a Cuomo-sexual. This is so bad. Due to his handling, you get it? Do you understand? I mean, how, my goodness. I'm grateful that he's being basically booted. Look at this one. This is from 2015. Campus sexual assault is on all hands on deck epidemic in U.S. Proud to stand with Governor Cuomo as he says, hashtag enough is enough. Wow, Cuomo. Pelosi, wow. That was 6 years ago. Sexual assault on campus. This guy really thought that he could do anything. He thought that he could sweep things under the rug. Granted, he's a Democrat, so they pretty much can and do exactly that. But it seems they needed to it's gone a little too far. I think that they need this to distract from the infrastructure bill, which I think is disastrous, and we're going to get into that. I think this is also to distract from the nursing home scandal that Governor Wolf, Governor Whitmer, Governor Newsom, Governor Pritzker, and Governor Murphy. Did I say Murphy? Doesn't matter. All of those governors need to be held accountable because all of them did the same thing, and it's terrible. So Cuomo, this guy, he says, look, he said he acknowledged that there were 11 women that he offended and that he was deeply apologetic towards offending. I'm sorry I offended you. I'm sorry you feel that way. What kind of an apology is that? I'm sorry I offended you. Is that really an apology? Do you think he really means it? The dude did resign. I think he resigned in disgrace, but also on par for the course for what they wanted him and what he needed to do to avoid the worst situation, which is getting impeached, getting a mar on his record. This is significant mar on his record. Guaranteed these Democrats are going to convince Cuomo, convince their voters, I guess, that Cuomo is not a problem. He's not an issue. Don't worry about it. He's going to make a comeback. These people are, they're goldfish. That's what it feels like. They say sheep, but they're really goldfish also. They don't process information in their brains like normal people do. That's just how it feels from my perspective over here. because they idolize this guy and other prominent figures of the left. I would love to call specific people out. I think you know who I'm talking about. Rhymes with ouchie. Anyway, they idolize this guy, and now he's, I think that has led him to believe, like I talked about this about Biden, how he acts around women. He thinks he's the hot guy, the cool hot guy. And Cuomo does the same thing. Same with both Cuomos do this. When you see them interacting with women, they think all women think that they're attractive, right? That is toxic masculinity. When you just simply assume everyone thinks you're like hot shit, and women think every woman out there thinks you're hot, and you act like that, and you talk to women like you are like that. Like, that's gross. That is toxic. And nobody likes that. It makes everyone uncomfortable, especially the women. So this whole Cuomo sexual thing brought on by the left probably made it worse, because it gave Cuomo this a bigger false sense of self-worth, I guess, which led him to believe that he could do this. And he probably got away with it for a long time. I mean, he was the governor. He was idolized for a long time. I'm not going to lie. Back in March, when I heard him speaking, I was like, all right, he seems pretty upfront. I kind of like this. It's kind of refreshing to hear someone. Now, keep in mind, this was early March, before he ordered all the people to go into the nursing homes. I'm referring to me on Timcast IRL. But then, of course, I was like, what is this guy doing? This is absolutely bonkers. And then it was a spiral effect, and the rest is history. But here we are. Cuomo finally stepped down. I'm stoked that he stepped down. Like, I'd rather him gone and get out of there. But I do want that Emmy back. He got an Emmy. Do you guys know this? He actually got an Emmy. Check this out. Poll calls for Cuomo's Emmy Award to be taken back over nursing home cover-up. Governor Andrew Cuomo's Emmy Award should be rescinded over the Post's revelation that his administration withheld nursing home death data amid a probe by federal prosecutors, a Queen councilman said on Friday. In a letter to the International Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, Councilman Robert Holden said the group's rationale for honoring Cuomo with its International Emmy Founders Award was no longer valid. The Academy awarded Governor Cuomo in recognition to his leadership during the COVID-19 pandemic and his masterful use of TV to inform and calm the people around the world, Holden wrote. We now know that his TV appearances and clout were used to mislead the public regarding how their loved ones died. He continues, please rescind the governor's award immediately, as his actions have been an insult to every New Yorker who lost a loved one during this terrible pandemic. The Post revealed Thursday night that Cuomo's top aide secretary to the governor, Melissa DeRosa, privately told Democratic lawmakers that his administration rebuffed their request for information on the total numbers of nursing home residents killed by COVID-19 due to fear it would be used against us by the Department of Justice. In November, Cuomo stressed the importance of honesty while facing adversity when he received his Emmy during a virtual ceremony at which he was feted by celebrities Robert De Niro, Ben Stiller, Billy Joel, Spike Lee, Rosie Perez, and Billy Crystal. Quote, I'm proud of New Yorkers who had the courage to tell the truth and the strength to stand together. That's what New York tough really means, to be tough enough to say, I love you and care about you and I need you. To see past color of skin, religion, sexual orientation, to see the humanity in each other, how we're all interconnected and interrelated, end quote, Cuomo said at the time. In a prepared statement released Friday, DeRosa insisted the state's officials were comprehensive and transparent in our responses to the DOJ. This is all absolutely ridiculous. The International Academy of Television Arts and Sciences didn't immediately return a request for comment, but I absolutely agree. Even there is an actual petition that people are running around trying to rescind the Emmy Award. I mean, masterful COVID-19 briefings. he was lying to the public. He was saying he wrote a book on how good he did on his response in New York State. But he killed people. He's got blood on his hands. He wrote a book. He was praised by Democrats and got an Emmy for it. They should take that Emmy away. God. So I gotta bring in Biden on this point too. Biden said, "Oh, I heard about these allegations. He should resign." Really, Biden? You ever hear of Tara Reade? Her accusations are more credible than almost all of Cuomo's allegations. That's right. Tara Reade has dirt on Joe Biden to assaulting her. Not to mention, Joe Biden is on video touching little girls. Not just one video, not just two videos. There's like 10 different videos that you can see of him touching women and little girls inappropriately. It's disgusting. So much that like even one of the girls is grown up now. Here's one of her. The girl who was touched by creeper Joe Biden on camera confirms he groped her and pinched her nipple. I don't know if you've seen this video, but someone asked her about it and she was like, yeah, he did. I mean, that man is president right now. We've got it on video. It's documented. It is documented. We have seen it. I've seen so many different videos. If Biden was saying that Cuomo should resign, and Cuomo resigned based on allegations. It hasn't even gone to court. So Biden, what are you doing as president? You should be ashamed of yourself. And everyone who voted for him should be ashamed of themselves also because they voted for a pedophile. That's right, I'm calling Joseph Biden a pedophile because he touches little girls publicly in front of everybody. All of those parents that brought their kids in front of Biden and let him touch them, you can even see there was a video that one of the governors were like, no, you're not touching my daughter. It's just like, oof. And it runs rampant in those circles. But when we got irrefutable evidence, videos upon videos of the president of the United States touching girls, we have a problem in society. I'm so fed up about talking about this. I can't, I was talking to a buddy of mine and he's like, yeah, well, I was talking to all my friends back in 2016 saying, well, at least we don't have to worry about Biden ever running to be president because of all those videos of him touching little girls. I mean, you'd think that would basically, he had to end his 1980, I think it was 88, that he had to withdraw because he lied about where he landed in grades at school, something like that. Or maybe that was when he plagiarized. I don't know. He plagiarized many people's speeches throughout his entire career. But he had to step down because he lied about being on the top of his class. He wasn't at the top of his class. That's what he had to step down for. But touching little girls is okay? What is wrong with the public to allow this? These people glorify Biden. They're like, woo, Biden, we win. We got Trump out of the White House. No more mean tweets. Yeah, well, F America, right? Because that's what it feels like. These people don't even care.